I'm raising the stakes right now. If this is a poker game, I'm shoving my chips to the middle of the table. I'm raising the ante. Anybody wants in, get in. Anybody wants out, can get out.
The Giants raised the ante big time today. Oh, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. It is a 31-28 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. It looked bleak. It looked terrible after that 20-0 half. Everyone seemed to be running for cover. But check the Online Big Blue Twitter. I kept telling people, it's not over. Even posted before the fourth quarter, don't call it a comeback. Because you know what? It's the freaking Arizona Cardinals. and Joshua Dobbs. As Joshua Dobbs played well in that first half, everything that could potentially go right for the Cardinals went right from that first half. The law of averages tells you that is not going to continue. Finally, the Giant defense stepped up and got a 3-out when they needed to, twice in a row at the end of the fourth quarter. You knew that the Cardinals could not just continue this Cinderella type story. You knew the Giants offense could not be this putrid. Daniel Jones, 26 of 37 for 321 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. We got big old Saquon Barkley coming in, 17 carries, 63 yards and the touchdown as well. It was a Herculean effort. It was a team effort in that second half by the offense. It was Daniel Jones directing a 20-point drive. I mean, 20-point drive, but 20 unanswered points, staying cool, confident, and under pressure. Looking like the $160 million man. I'm waiting to see that all over Twitter. It's the Arizona Cardinals, guys. If we do this against the 49ers, I'm going to be even more pumped. But you know what? It's a great win. It's one of the largest wins, I think, since like 1935, comeback wins for the New York Giants. Daniel Jones played the game, played after the way he played in Dallas. He played the game that you would think he would play in Arizona. 321 yards, 26 of 37, 2 touchdowns and the interception. You got to, plus all the rushing yards. You got to give him 100% credit for this game. 100% bringing back the team on that big drive to get them in range for that 34-yard field goal for the Graham Gano. Because you know, it's the Gano. It's amazing to think that this game literally was this was, and I'm not joking when I put it in the title that this was Daniel Jones and the season saver. This literally was. You go 0-2 with the stretch that we have coming up. It could have gotten ugly real quick and real fast. It technically was a tale of the two halves. And I wonder a little bit, and I was kind of thinking about this during the game. Did Dable take over the play calling in the second half? I'm only thinking that because of the fact that if you continuously watched him in the second half when they went to the sidelines, he had the play card out. Now, a lot of times your head coach will have the play card out, the offensive play card out, but he had the play card out extensively. And it seemed to me at some points in times that he looked like he was potentially sending up the plays to Mike Kafka. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying anything about that, but I'm just saying that it was interesting that the entire flow of the game changed in that second half. Something was different. The Giants all of a sudden taking some shots deep. The Giants were again, you know, they were mixing in some of the offensive philosophy of last year with the play action rollout. It was kind of a nice mixture. And I'm just wondering if we, you know, the venerable Brian Dable came over and just said, "Hey, listen, you know, let's look at this and let's try a couple different things." I mean, you gotta love the fact that, like I said, you scored 14 in the third, 17 in the fourth. And like I said, it was a comeback for the pendulum. I always talked about this being the game that the pendulum was going to swing back for the Giants. I didn't think it was going to swing like this. The pendulum literally swung back, hit the Arizona Cardinals straight in the head, killed the bird, and the Giants take this one 31-28. Because of the fact that you were so putrid for the first 6 quarters of this entire season, you played a second half that was technically of the ages. You know, Daniel Jones looked like the franchise quarterback. Saquon Barkley was running the ball with purpose. You know, the Walla Walla Waller with 6 catches and 76 yards. You had Jalen Hyatt getting behind the defense. 2 targets, 2 receptions, 89 yards. And I've said this before, averaging 44.5 yards a catch. I said this before about Hyatt. If he only comes up with, if he only comes up with 35 receptions for the season, but averages 18, 19, 20 yards a catch, I think that's a successful season for him. And I think that's what you're going to get with Jalen Hyatt. And I think it's going to open up the middle of the field for Waller. It's going to open up, the catches for Saquon Barkley. We do have to have a slight bit of concern for Saquon Barkley after that big 16-yard run at the fourth quarter to get them in the field goal range. That he came up limping. He came up lame. 3 guys had to help carry him off the field. So that is going to be a situation that we are going to need to keep an eye on Monday, because of the fact that that's just not good. That's just not good. It was also nice to see a Bobby Okereke sighting in the second half. Bobby, who was 8 tackles, 5 solo, was kind of non-existent for the first 6 quarters of the entire season, and then he comes back, and made some key tackles. The same with Jason Pinnock and Xavier McKinney. It looks like the Giants went with a big nickel quite extensively in the second half as well. The pass rush, though, that we need to take a look at. You had 0 sacks. We have now had 0 sacks for the last 8 quarters with the Giants defense. I love it how the Giants offensive line played fairly well today for what they had. And again, everyone wanted to fire Bobby Johnson a week ago. So now we're going to fire the Giants defensive line coach because of the fact that, Kayvon Thibodeau and X are not getting to the quarterback. X could have any player. I'm just throwing that out there. But we need to raise our glass to Daniel Jones. I am going to give him the highest honor at the online Big Blue House. He is no longer going to be Daniel Jones. He's no longer going to be Danny Dimes. He is now going to be...
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us all your real name? You do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
For one night and one day, he's going to be Gladiator. We'll see what happens against the 49ers. But for this moment in time... That's what he is. You got to give him all, like I said, you got to give him all the credit in the world. This is the kinder, gentler Tim. I like people on Twitter when I was posting some things. They're like, who hijacked online Big Blue's account? Nobody. I'm just honest. And when I'm honest, I tell you when it's good. I tell you when it's bad. And sometimes even when it looks bad, it's still good. So sometimes you can enjoy the honesty, but it's always going to be there. It was a good win, guys. It was a solid win. It's an exciting win. In some ways, like I said, it is a season-saving win. We're gonna, like I said, we're tipping our hats, to everyone today, especially to Daniel Jones, especially to Saquon Barkley, especially to Brian Dable, because I still do think that Brian Dable took over the play calling. I'd be curious to see what happens if we find out that he did take over the play. He was holding the play card way too much in that second half when they showed him on the sidelines. He always seemed to have it in his hands. So I'm just curious. I don't know if they'll ever truly tell us, but I am curious to see what we get for this. Now it's on to Arizona. I mean, not Arizona. Now it's on to San Francisco. So let's keep the jubilation going for this moment in this event. I'm so excited that you know what kind of party it is?
Welcome to the party, pal.
It's a John McClane party. It's a party that you just don't want it to stop. Hell, I may even do a live stream tomorrow, just because, like I said, I am so excited about this game. I sat there. I kept texting people and telling them, hey, listen, when we were down 14, I said, we're only down 14. Kept telling people we're only down there, because you gotta have faith in your team. You gotta just, even when the chips are down, like I said, you could see that Daniel Jones was playing well enough, and you could see that the Arizona Cardinals have a defense and can get to the quarterback somewhat, but you knew they had some lacking. And if Daniel Jones was going to play a quality game, he was going to be able to hopefully stay in the pocket and pick apart the defense a little bit. And that's what he did in the second half. And you know what? It's not just a John McClane party.
Oh my God. Do you know what it's time for? A sexy party.
It's time for a giant sexy party. Well, everyone, just make sure you're all ready for this for next week. Going into Arizona. because that's what it is. I'm just too excited today, guys. I'm having a good time. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a live stream tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure something out. And as always, this is Tim. This is Online Big Blue, New York Giants Straight Talk. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'd be awesome.